Hey everyone, welcome back to the Strong Girl Gossip Podcast, episode 16.
Hey guys, hope you're good.
We are going to go into our own journeys today and do an episode all about getting to know us a little bit more. I think it's about time. We should have probably done this like 16 episodes ago, on like day dot, but better late than never, I guess.
Yeah, feels weird because we started this podcast to give you guys more information and give you episodes that are going to be useful in your life. And coming into this episode, I'm like, is this really useful? But I think it is useful to have context on who you're taking advice from.
Yeah, 100%. And I think I always find people's journeys fascinating as well, because you think, that's possible for me as well. Because there was once upon a time that me and Ella did not go to the gym. So let's unpack it all. But before we do, wins.
Oh my God, I have the biggest win. I feel like sometimes we come into this podcast and I'm like, what the hell is my win? Can you really have to dig for a win? This is the win. I completed High Rocks on Saturday. And a little bit of context, if you don't know what High Rocks is, it's basically 8 kilometers of running with loads of little stations in between. I've never ran more than 6.5 kilometers in my life. I was wildly unprepared for this, and I was, let me tell you, even before the halfway point of the race, in an absolute hole. I was like, I cannot do this. I need to sit down. But mind over matter, I did it. I ran the furthest I've ever run in my life, and I completed High Rocks. And the non-win was that I didn't train for it, but the win is that I did it.
Yeah, I take my hat off to you, because little secret, guys, not a win really for me at all. I did actually book a High Rocks at the start of this year, and long story short, I sold my ticket about a month ago for the exact reason that I didn't do any training for it. And maybe one day I'll revisit that. Maybe me and Ella will revisit that together one day. Who knows?
That could be fun.
Drop that in the comments if that's what you want to see.
Literally.
2 people that are not runners in the slightest, but honestly, I take my hat off to anyone that does them, because they are not easy, especially when you are used to lifting 3 to 10 reps at a time with 3 minutes rest. So well done.
Yeah, thank you. What's your win?
My win this week is that I sorted my garage out. Really boring, but I've been putting it off for months because I'm terrified of spiders, long story short. So this Sunday I literally dragged everything out of the garage and it's pretty much sorted. But if you know, you know. If you've got a house and you've got a garage and you keep putting stuff in the garage and just expect it to kind of disappear, and then it starts getting ridiculous, not a vibe. So that is my win this week, literally battling the spiders.
I always think with a garage, it's I don't have any storage space like that. So if something needs to go, it needs to go in the bin or it needs to be sold. But if I had a garage, I just feel like I would put all the stuff in it that I kind of want to keep, but no, I should get rid of.
Yeah, and that's exactly what it was. And it is such a good feeling to just be like, goodbye, you're going to the tip, or you are getting sold, or you are just out of my life now. So yeah, anyway, get to know us episode. So we are going to first start with the question of how we first both started our fitness journeys. So I'll let you take the stage first, Ella.
Wow, it was lockdown 2020. Well, first of all, a bit of context. I trained as a dancer. I danced my whole life, and then instead of going to normal uni, I went to a dance college basically and trained physical dance training every day for 3 years. So that's kind of my background. But when I tell you I was the most unfit person on that course, it sounds like it's really intense, and it was, but there was a lot of pressure in that industry to be really, really tiny. And lots of people who I trained with were, but I have boobs, I have legs, I have a bum. I was just very different to everyone else. And that kind of made me feel really shit about myself. And I hated exercising. Even when I danced, I enjoyed it to a point, but getting out of breath, I just hated. And I just felt I wasn't very strong in my body. And I wish I had strength training when I was training back then, because it would have been so good for me. But anyway, I literally didn't do any exercise when I graduated from there. I was a year out, and I basically didn't do anything for a year. And then we went into lockdown, And I just got really bored. And I was like, let me just try a HIIT workout. And then it became a little bit of an obsession. And I was like doing HIIT workouts every day, 6 days a week. And then I was running 5 days a week, HIIT workouts 6 days a week, only having one rest day, which was a Sunday every week. And let me tell you, like, that Sunday I cherished. I was like getting up for the 6th day in a row, doing a really intense HIIT workout and just hating life. Like, my body was dying. My brain was like, I can't do this anymore. And I was literally just forcing myself to HIIT train so many times in the week and literally burning myself out and making myself feel so guilty if I didn't do it. So that was like my start into fitness. And then I was like, do you know what? My goals aren't even, I kind of like did a bit more research and like knew that my goals aren't HIIT related and they were strength related. And like I wanted to grow muscle essentially. And I was trying to like implement progressive overload in my house with like books in a rucksack, all this stuff. So as soon as the gyms opened back up, I went to the gym, could only afford one PT session. I got a PT session with a lady who I actually still work with now, which is funny. But she was like, right, these are the lifts. And I just learned to lift from there. And I never did another HIIT workout again.
Goodbye to the HIIT workouts, RIP.
RIP HIIT workouts. You will not be missed.
No, I love that though, because we've all got like a journey, and I think people forget, especially when they see like on the ground or whatever, like you're lifting this weight, and I think it can be really easy to forget that actually you're at a starting point and you was training at home with your books in your rucksack. Like,
yeah,
we all start somewhere, and I think it's so fascinating to find out people's journeys. So thank you for sharing.
that's all right. What about you?
Oh God. Do you know when you start actually reflecting and thinking, I'm like, gosh, like it just, yeah, it's crazy, really. But
Yeah.
I first started my fitness journey purely because I didn't really enjoy a typical sport in school. So I did things like sport studies, you know, where you can do like you get PE and then you can do it as, you know, I mean, you can do it as its own thing.
Yeah.
But I was just like not great at it because it was all just like sport focused, like hockey, football, basketball. Don't get me wrong, I did love netball and I did used to play netball growing up. But I didn't enjoy it, and it actually built up a lot of resentment with exercise, like similar to what you were saying. So I decided to go to the gym, and I was literally 13 when I first started the gym. And I took one of my friends with me. I'm still really good friends with her to this day. We still actually go to the gym together sometimes. So a real full circle moment there. But yeah, I started the gym, and then, long story short, that friend then left the gym, and I had a choice. I either stay uncomfortable on my own, or I also leave and have some time out. But I did decide to stay, and I was always intrigued by like the weight section. I would literally be spending hours on the treadmill, not even joking. I would just go there, go on the treadmill, go to the cross trainer, then go to the bike, then go to the stair stepper, like in a little loop. And I would do that like every day, especially Monday to Friday during the week. And I would go straight after school as well. So there was a lot of good habits built there, but also a lot of negative habits as well, because it's the same, similar to you, Ella, like you were saying, like that kind of obsession came in with like just wanting to get to the gym and just wanting to make myself smaller and just wanting to do loads of cardio, especially when you started seeing the results as well, and especially when you can get addicted to seeing yourself get smaller and smaller. But like I say, really intrigued by the weight section, and one day I did decide to give more the weighted machines a go. So then I got into the cycle of going on the weighted machines all of the time, gradually building that confidence to start with the dumbbells. But then I decided to join the RAF, which was quite random, to be honest. It wasn't something that was in the pipeline for me, but I decided to go in the military, and then my training changed to suit that. So I was starting to train for a purpose, and I really liked that, because I was like, okay, I need to run this amount, I need to do this amount of press ups, I need to do this amount of sit ups, etc. And that really got me motivated, because I knew what I needed to achieve to pass my fitness test. Went into the military. Honestly, didn't really like exercise during the military because, as you can imagine, not fun. It was all very regimented and not that fun at all, really. So lost that passion. Very long journey. I'm very aware. I'm trying to speed it up as much as possible. But essentially, in the military, a few years later down the line, I rediscovered strength training and really started getting back into that, and was just really hooked on, oh my god, like last week I used 5 kg dumbbells, and like this week I can use 7.5 kg dumbbells, and like that was really, really fascinating to me. And then lockdown, back to where kind of your journey started, I guess. We got to lockdown. Yes, the 5 kg dumbbells were my bestie at home. Like, that's it. Like, that is pretty much all I was using to train. But we made it work. And I actually, I've still really, really enjoyed it. So when the gyms back opened, I joined CrossFit. And when I joined CrossFit, it started to show me what my body was capable of. Like, I was really impressed with myself. I was like, wow, like, I've gone from lifting like these pair of 5 kg dumbbells or on a weighted machine or whatever it was that I was doing to like throwing barbells above my head and like being able to do all of these crazy things. And that really like was a turning moment for me, because I really started to see like, wow, I'm quite strong and quite capable. So I will always thank CrossFit for that, because it definitely opened a whole different door for fitness and for training that I didn't see before. It was all just about, yes, I was training for like the military and things, but it was solely focused on physique. Like, how can I look better? How can I do this? When I started CrossFit, it was like, how can I move better? How can I improve my mobility? Oh my God, my mobility. How can I improve my strength? How can I learn more skills and all of this? So, and then that kind of leads us to where we are now, where it's just like, I love being with the barbell. I love being able to be that 1% better every week. And it might not happen every single week, but for me, it's like a lifelong journey. So as long as I'm doing better than I was last year, that's all that I'm really bothered about. So very long journey condensed into as quick as possible. But yeah, I think even talking about it now, like reflecting back, it's like everyone's got that starting point and starting journey. And you're so naive if you think that the people in the gym, just like me and Ella now, like throwing barbells about and lifting this weight or squatting or whatever, like it was just happened overnight. It's years and years of like going through the ups and downs, trying different style of trainings, doing things that make you feel so uncomfortable. The day that I walked into that CrossFit gym for the first time, sick, physically, like, I hate this. Like, it took like at least a month for like the anxious feeling to step away. So yeah, we've all got a starting point, but it's just about who's willing to start, who's willing to put themselves out of the comfort zone.
Yeah. And I think like being in your comfort zone is good to a point, because like, for example, I did HIIT workouts at home until I felt comfortable enough in what I was doing that actually I could step into a gym and do that comfortably in the gym, in like the little corner section where you just grab your own dumbbells. And like, but there is always going to be that point where you need to push yourself that little bit more and feel uncomfortable, like when you join CrossFit, or like when I started like Olympic lifting. Like, it is always, there's always going to be that next bit. And even if that next bit is just doing what you're doing but doing it heavier, it's like you're always going to have to put yourself out of your comfort zone in some way. And like you talking then about your journey is like remind me of so many bits that like didn't even come to my mind when you asked. Like, there's just genuinely so much behind the scenes of what you see on Instagram that people have been through. Like, there's so many points in my life where I was like, oh, actually, I wish I could go back and tell myself that I shouldn't have been lifting that way, or like, I wish that I could go and fix my form here. Like, we have been through that journey. We didn't start off as athletes, and that's why we love coaching you guys to get to the same place.
But it's all a part of it as well, isn't it? Like you say, it's like saying, oh, I wish I could have gone and told myself that, or I wish I could have like told myself to, I don't know, not run around all the different cardio machines. But it's all a part of your journey. So looking back, it's like it's led us to where we are today. So
Yeah.
no, I absolutely love that. I think we've both got really good journeys to where we are now. But this is like thinking about 10 years, I'd be like rewinding even further, and you don't even realize that you're starting like a new journey all the time, aren't you? Like the journey that we're on now, like where are we going to be in 10 years? And that's what I love about fitness, because you can constantly continue to evolve yourself. And
yeah,
a finishing point that I do want to say on that is, you probably noticed, like us explaining our journeys, how many different stages of fitness we have been in, how many different styles of training that we have done. So like Ella being a dancer, then going to HIIT, and like for me, starting on like the cardio machines, really hating team sport, and then like going into doing strength training and Olympic weightlifting and all of this. Like you've got different stages of your journey, and whatever point you are in your journey right now, like, just enjoy it, because like there's always going to be a next stage as well, if you like.
Should we talk about the being smaller era as well? Because I feel like there's not many people that I know who strength train who didn't start off exercising wanting to be smaller. And I think it's easy to see us now being like, I just want to be strong, I want to grow muscle, blah blah blah. But actually there was a long period of my fitness journey where I literally only exercised to see myself get smaller. And you touched on earlier, like, being addicted to seeing yourself get smaller. I think because for me, I tried to lose weight for a really long time. For my whole time when I was dancing, I was just like, I just want to be smaller, I want to fit into these leotards. I don't want to have to wear a sports bra underneath my leotards. I just want to wear whatever those other girls are going to wear. And then when I did start to see that I was losing weight because I was doing HIIT training, I got addicted to it. And I was like, I want to keep seeing that result. But then you almost like you replace it with a new addiction of wanting to get stronger. So it's like always seeing yourself get better, but the way that you get better throughout your fitness journey does and will change.
100%. And I think the thing with strength, and why I was so passionate about it, is it's something, and I know you've mentioned this before in a previous podcast, it's something that it's in your control and you can continuously improve, like work towards that. And I think being focused on like the way that you look, or like you say, trying to shrink yourself, sometimes like genetics, right? Like I was literally put a post on Instagram this morning, and the caption was literally like, genetics, like thick thighs, like they're not going anywhere. And I think that's really important to remember, like when you are just trying to make yourself smaller. And like I say, throughout our journeys, we've both been in that exact position, just be so unrewarding.
Yeah, for sure. And I think looking at, you know, what your body can do is something we touch on a lot, but that's something that the further you get into that journey is just going to come naturally, I think.
So I'm grateful for the journeys that we've been on, because without that, well, we wouldn't be sat talking today, would we, on the podcast?
No.
Without getting deep, but like we wouldn't. So I guess the closing point for part one would be to just figure out whereabouts you are in your fitness journey right now, and almost just see like, what are your goals, and is this aligning to where I am with my fitness journey? Because I think if I had like a podcast that I was listening to back then that literally just asked me like, so what are you doing? Like, what are you doing in the gym? What are your actions? And like, what are your goals? Are they aligning? Like, how are you feeling? Do you know what I mean? Like that would actually probably have really just reminded me to go, oh yeah, I don't actually care about having bigger glutes. Like why? Or I don't actually care about shrinking myself down. So why am I trying so hard to do it? Because I don't know, like, especially going back into like trends and things like that, it can be so easy just to follow the crowd and not actually just sit and think, okay, this is my fitness journey. What do I want out of it?
Yeah. And knowing that it is a journey, like, and I'll come back to this all the time, but it's not looking at us and going, oh, well, they got it good, or they got it lucky because they did it growing up, or they did this, they did that. And it's like, we all started from the same point. And knowing that, I think, gives you some motivation to be like, yeah, do you know what? Maybe one day I will be able to squat X amount, or maybe, you know, I'll feel comfortable to pursue performance goals instead of aesthetic goals. And it's like just going along with what you're currently capable of, and like just said, like trying to get that 1% better every week.
It's all the decisions you make as well, isn't it? Like during lockdown, you made that decision to start HIIT training. Even if it was HIIT training, it led you to where you are now. Like I made a decision to go, do you know what? I don't love sport, but I want to move my body. I'm going to try out the gym. Like it's all about the decisions that you make. So yeah. But
sure.
This has been fun. We're going to actually bring you a part 2, guys.
Second part, we're going to be going on to like why we made it our job, favorite exercises, and then just like random facts about us, and probably go off on loads of other tangents too, knowing us. So we'll see you there if you want to come join.
Really good at tangents, but hopefully if you're listening, you keep coming back, so you must love it. But yeah, thanks for listening, guys, and we will see you next week.
See you later.